Hello, people that are already here. Congratulations on your earliness. If someone wants to just pop into Chatland and tell me if you can see me and hear me, and if my life has any value, like any of those things. Just kidding about the last one. The rest of it I would love to know. Woohoo! Thank you. Then I'm gonna go away and I will chat with you guys again once people have a chance to be here.
Define working with her. She was struggling with certain people, myself included, because
Does anybody see anything?
No, but that's because I haven't clicked my button yet.
Oh, thank you.
How's that?
Much better.
Good morning. This is Diana Warren.
Hello. All right, so it's that lovely time again. It's time for us to talk about Braille in the year 2020. It's the first time we're going to get to do that all together this decade or year or whatever interesting delineation of time you prescribe importance to. I missed you guys a whole bunch. It's been a very long time since I got to talk to you. I feel like I might have been a different person the last time we spoke. It's been a busy couple of weeks back, busy couple of weeks before going away. Did a whole concert here at the school, did a whole bunch of cool stuff. I'm excited to hear about you guys' time off. And so I've prepared us with a getting started activity that I think will help us get ourselves back into the brailing place and also get to express sort of, remind us of that time when we weren't working. So you shall notice that upon your screen is the Chapter 7 PowerPoint. We're going to hit both chapters today because I missed you guys last week. And we're going to start with a review activity. So we're going to start, I'll give you guys just about 3 or 4 minutes. Write a 2 to 3 sentence description of how you spent your holiday break. Then transcribe that description into Braille. Note the places where you get to use short form words or word signs. Please feel free to use anything that we've learned so far to describe your holiday break in 2 to 3 sentences. Transcribe them into Braille. So hopefully for those of you that are just joining us or that are here, you have been taking this opportunity to write just a 2 or 3 sentence description of what you did over the holidays and convert it into Braille. I'll show you guys mine here in just a second and give you about 30, 45 seconds to look at it and try and read it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what I came up with here. You can tell me if I made any boo-boos. Anything in that that's wrong or confusing, or what does that group of dots mean?
I don't think we can see the whole thing at once.
Yeah,
There, thank you.
there you go. Thank you for telling me. I'm very comfortable with being wrong. It's a state I find myself in quite often. So if you happen to notice me there, please just let me know. I appreciate it. So I've written, over the holidays, my wife and I drove to CO, Colorado, to see her father and stepmother. We both had a great time. And then I wrote, I could have used 2 or 3 more weeks off. And then an exclamation. 2 or 3. Yep. I could have used 2 or 3 more weeks off, though, exclamation point. So hopefully that wasn't too tedious of a challenge. We're going to try and really go pretty efficiently through going over all of the stuff we learned in chapters 7 and 8, and then see what sticks with us with some sample sentences at the end. Again, I'm really sorry for missing you guys next week. Or next week. I'm sorry for missing you last week. Oh no. Lisa, you said that you spent your whole entire week moving into a house and didn't have a chance to practice Braille and couldn't even find your Brailler. Oh no. Well, luckily, there's no like grades for this or anything. So once your life settles down and you have the opportunity to catch up, you can always come back to these videos of these things or just work through Ashcroft's book, and there's no time frame other than whenever whoever your employers are make you take a UEB test. There's no like deadline. Like, I'm not gonna tattle on you if you need a little bit of time to catch up. So I've gotten that question from a couple of people. You know, that's not what I'm here for. That's not my job. My job is to show you slides. It's all their things too, but mostly it's slides. So in chapter 7, way back then, we learned about strong word signs for child, out, shall, still, this, and which. And those are our CH, our OU, our SH, our ST, our TH, and our WH contractions when they stand by themselves. So those things by themselves mean those things. The same way we have the alphabetic word signs, or B is but, C is can, D is do. We have these strong word signs where these contraction symbols, the .16 for CH, for example, in the middle of a word, it means CH. In just hanging out, it means child. So basically you use them the same way you use strong word signs any other time, except that you cannot use SH contraction if you have the like sh. So if you're transcribing a book or something like that and they've written SH by itself, you need to use those letters because the SH symbol by itself, the SH contraction by itself is a word sign. So if you wrote a book and someone's in the library and the librarian says sh, SH with a period at the end, and you try to use that contraction to save a little bit of space, what your Braille reader is going to see is, and the librarian approached them and said, shall. So that's not quite right. Other than that, they're word signs. You use them like word signs. Then there's a bunch of words, short form words that they show up in. So you'll see against, children, should, first, such, ourselves, themselves, himself, thyself. It was weird to me that oneself is on this list. It makes sense with the rest of them, but you don't learn about the one contraction until next chapter. So it was weird to me that they put it in this place in the book, but who am I to argue with the $150 book? Then we also learned about type forms. So type forms are things like italics, bold, underlined, and script, like handwriting type things. I've got them here in a nifty little table for you so you can see what they look like and how to make a symbol, word, passage, and terminator. So all of these symbols, you're going to have two cells. The first one is going to be based on the type form. So for italics, it's a 4-6. For bold, it's 4-5. For underline, it's 4-5-6. Easy way to remember that one. It looks like a line, and it's an underline. Script is 4. The next cell is going to be based on what you are making with it, what kind of indicator. If you are making a symbol indicator, it'll always be a 2-3. If you're making a word indicator, it'll always be a 2. If you're making a passage indicator, it'll always be a 2-3-5-6. And if you're making a terminator, it will always be a 3. Obviously, that is true for the things on this page. There's other kinds of terminators and stuff for other sorts of stuff. But for the type forms, it was really easy for me to remember that the first cell, or it was easier for me to remember, I'll say, that the first cell is going to show you what kind of type form you're talking about. And the second cell is going to show you how long you're talking about it, or whether you're done talking about it. That pattern really helps me to remember them easier. Some rules for them bad boys. These are a really verbose set of rules. Basically, use the symbol one if there's one typed formed letter, like there's a bold letter. Use the word if there's a word or symbol sequence. Use the passage if there's 3 or more words. Remember, a passage is always 3 or more. So 2 of them, just use 2 words. 3 of them, use a passage. And then, although they're very common in print, they often add no meaning to the Braille reader. Refer to section 9.1 of the UEB book for a description of when to use and when to avoid type forms. Now, I'm going to be super crazy impressed if any of you went to the UEB book and read section 9.1. So, here it is. So 911 talks about how it's not always necessary to use them. For example, print will use a distinct typeface for headings. This usage is generally ignored in Braille, where the formatting will show you that it's a heading. Also, italicizing technical variables in technical materials, also don't do that. So they are necessary, 9.1.2, when the print change is significant because it indicates emphasis or shows distinction, such as like foreign words in an English text. Titles within text, so where you italicize like the names of books, you would keep that. Subject headings on paragraphs, so like at the beginning where it says a word in bold and then it keeps going, that's important. Silent thought, computer output, or the class of variable in mathematics. And if you can't tell whether you should put it in or not, put it in. Those are the rules on the use of the type forms. Does anyone have any questions about any of that chapter 7 goodness before we jump into chapter 8 goodness and the 38,672 new contractions they made you learn? Going once, going twice. Okie dokie, so now we're gonna go to the chapter 8 PowerPoint that I made and go over more things. Yay! Chapter shouldn't be like, it doesn't look like they do that many things to you. And then they're like, here's 40 trillion contractions. Learn them. So we have a whole bunch of initial letter contractions. We have the .5 initial letter contractions, which is this list of 22 beauties. Day, ever, father, here, no, Lord, mother, character, name, ought, one, part, question, right, some, time, under, work, young. I said character already, but I meant to say it on this side. Character, ought, there, through, where. So like, these are some really nifty words to be able to contract. There's a lot of them. One of the things that's neat to notice is that they are all, because of the title, initial letter contractions, contracted with the initial letter, or sometimes contraction of the initial letters of the thing that they are. So where is a WH sign with a .5 in front of it. Ought is an OU sign with a .5 in front of it. Character, CH, etc. So that was plenty of stuff to learn. So we don't need any more contractions. Oh, we do. .45 contractions. These guys are fun. Just 5. These, those, upon, whose, word. So z, in terms of these, those, whose, all of them end in z. These is the one with a the, THE. Those is the one without a the, so it's just a TH. So these, those, and then WH is whose. Are you tired yet? not, had, many, spirit, there, EIR, important to know, which is there you're talking about, and world. All of those are .456 initial contractions. And apart from there, THEIR, which is the .456 and then the THE, the sign, the 2, 3, 4, 6, all of the rest of those just have the letter. So cannot is 456C, had 456H, many 456M, spirit 456S, world 456W. Why on earth is there a contraction for the word spirit? Well, let me tell you why. They decided which words would be the most efficient ones to contract by using statistics to analyze how language is used in the Bible. So that word, pretty frequent in the Bible. So it is therefore up there in importance of things we want to categorize with words like words and many, or world and many and cannot and ever and father and mother. That's how you get a word like spirit and also .5L for Lord. Like that is why those ones are popular. So those are the rules and you just use them all the time, right? No. When used as group signs, and they can be, initial letter contractions may occupy a position anywhere within a word. So you can use those as part of words. So in my example from my holiday little paragraph, I wrote stepmother. I wrote the ST sign, EP.5M, stepmother. Where a choice must be made between two consecutive contractions in order to avoid misspelling, preference should be given to the contraction that more nearly approximates pronunciation. So basically, try to pick the ones that are closest to the way that it's spelled. So then there's some specific rules. So for had, the one that's had, use it when it's ah, not a or ah. When it's ah, when it's pronounced like had, when it's a short a, use had. If it's a long a, can I think of a word like that? Not at this time, but I bet you there is one. You would not use it because you don't want to confuse the pronunciation, because if they see had, they're going to say had. So same principle for the initial letter contractions for here, H-E-R-E, and name. Use them when they're pronounced as one syllable. So like hereditary. You cannot put .5H at the beginning of the word hereditary, even though it starts H-E-R-E, because it's two syllables, hooray. If you are writing, you know, namesake, you can use .5N because name, one sound. Are there more rules? Yes. So basically, to determine whether you can use a short form word in part of a longer word, check the appendix #1 of the UEB rules. That's why I told you guys that's a big important thing. You can print a copy, you can buy a copy and print, you can just look at the PDF, although you can't bring your PDF to the UEB test. But there's a short form word list in the back. It shows you where you can use them. You can always apostrophe S those words, and most of them you can pluralize by making S. So you can always possess them by adding an apostrophe S, and most of them you can pluralize by adding an S. If the longer word that contains a short form word is not on the UEB short form list, make sure that it follows all of these silly fun rules. Don't worry about memorizing this, but it's Braille or great, do it whenever. Children, no vowel or no Y after it. Blind first, friend, good letter, little, quick. Use it if it begins the word and blah, 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 is not followed by a Y. So, moral of the story is, there's a big list in the back of the UEB book, use that. And then one of the last things we need to talk about is this rule that says when the letters that could make up a short form word are standing alone and could be confused with a word, they should be preceded by the grade 1 indicator. A really good example of this is the word also, which is short formed AL. You might have to write about a dude named Al, A-L. Because AL means also, you have to put a grade 1 indicator, which is your dots 5, 6, in front of the A, well, in front of the capital A, for Al, to make sure it says Al. Otherwise, you will be writing a whole book about Weird Also Yankovic. And a couple of these fun special symbols because it's not a fun UEB class without new special symbols. So we learned how to make a hashtag. All the kids are using them these days. We learned how to make the little squiggly ampersand guy. Copyright symbol, trademark symbol, registered symbol. So the hashtag, the pound sign, the crosshatch is a 456 and then a 1456. The and is the and contraction with a dot 4 in front of it. So the ampersand is the and contraction with a dot 4 in front of it, which is great because it looks the same because it is the same. Copyright, trademark, and registered are all 4, 5, and then the first letters. So 45C for copyright, 45T for trademark, 45R registered mark. Use these symbols whenever they occur. What a cool rule. Thanks for spending the space on it. And don't write them superscript. So copyright, trademark, and registered usually get like superscripted in print. Don't do that in Braille. Just write them. Just put them there. Cool. Really glad we spent time on these rules right here on this page. Basically, I love Braille. Braille is fun. One of the best parts about Braille is that it's so flippin' confusing that they have to make a rule to tell you when the rules are reasonable. One of the best parts about Braille is that you need a specific rule to tell you that common sense actually does apply in this situation. Otherwise, they'll give you a rule for that too. Any fun questions for me about any of this chapter 8 junk? I've sped through it. I was trying to get through 2 chapters of talking really, really fast so we have time to make sentences together. I'm not hearing any questions. It could be that you're still typing. It could be that you are super on top of everything. It could be that you're so ponderously lost and confused that you don't know what kind of questions you have. All of those are okay. You guys want to try some sentences and excellent. Janice says, all okay, ready to practice. That's what I was about to ask. You guys want to try some sentences and see if we're ready? I'm sorry, Lisa. A couple of people, by the way, Lisa just mentioned, I'm so glad that they're recorded. Could I explain the superscript indicator? Have you learned it yet? I don't know that you have had to learn it yet. There is one. You will learn it. What I was saying, Lisa mentioned that she's grateful that all the lessons are recorded. So if you are having trouble getting to them, if you don't have access to the recordings for whatever, you're like, I really need to see I need to see the chapter 3 recording or whatever. Please just shoot me an email. It's pretty easy for me to just rip off the link and send it back to you. So just let me know if you ever need one of those recordings back out of the ye old archives. So I am going to go ahead and give you some of the practice stuff, and then I will I will come up with a concise way of explaining the superscript indicator for you, but I will go ahead and get some sentences up there for you so that you have something fun to do. So I definitely think we should try numbers 2 and 5 on this list. If you run out of time, number 3 and number 1 is really great too. Number 4 is, they're all good, but I want us to hit 2 and 5. Let's do let's do the paragraph formatting. So we'll do 3-1 margins. You should number them. Number 2 reads, which of these words will always go first for alphabetical order, colon, afternoon, comma, according, comma, or altogether, question mark. Again, that's number 2. Which of these words will always go first for alphabetical order, colon, afternoon, comma, according, comma, or altogether, question mark. Number 5 reads, many brave people from the hashtag new world with new and world capitalized. Sorry, old world. What am I doing? Many brave people from the hashtag old world, capital O, capital W, came across the Atlantic together. And number 5, many brave people from the hashtag old world with a capital O and a capital W, which proves to you that it was written by an old person because no one capitalizes hashtags. Many brave people from the hashtag old world came across the Atlantic together. And I know I heard from people that they've had some trouble getting access to Braillers or haven't had Braillers available. Remember that there are apps for the iPad as well as free downloads for the computer that'll give you a Perkins Brailler, but on the computer. That's what I use to show you everything is Perky Duck. So those are really good choices if you need a way to braille without having a brailler also. How's the part of braille that just gets really hard? It's just a lot. You guys about ready to see them? Here we go. So I have two spaces at the beginning, a number sign, 1, 2 for the number 2, a period, which is a 2, 5, 6, a space, and then the capital sign, which is a short form of the WH sign. So it's just a 1, 5, 6. Of is the of strong contraction, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. These dots 4, 5, and then the THE, so the 2, 3, 4, 6. Words, dot 4, 5, W, S. Will is a alphabetic word sign for W. Always is a short form, ALW. Go is just a G. First is F and an ST sign, so F and then a 3, 4. 4 is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 full cell. Alphabetical, you just spell it. Order has the ER sign at the end, the 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and then a colon is a 2, 5. Afternoon, short form AFN, comma is dot 2. According, AC, and the comma is dot 2. Or altogether, ALT, and a question mark, which is a 2, 3, 6. And number 5, many has a capital sign, and then a 4, 5, 6 M for many. Brave, write the word, B-R-A-V-E. People is just a P, alphabetic word sign. From, it's just an F. The, 2, 3, 4, 6. Here we go with the hashtag. So to make the hashtag symbol, we do a 4, 5, 6, and then a 1, 4, 5, 6. Then we capitalize the letter O, so dot 6, and then O-L-D. Then dot 6, and then 4, 5, 6, W, because you can use the word world in the middle of that. Came across, came is spelled out, across is in short form ACR. The has a the sign. Atlantic, capitalized and write it out. Together is a short form TGR, and then a period is a 2, 5, 6. How'd you guys do? Yay, I see a lot of goods. Billy Joe, Robin, Janice, everyone's saying good. Pretty good. Yay. All good. It sounds like you want to do more of them. Is that what I'm interpreting? Am I interpreting that correctly? Ah. Back to the PowerPoint. And on to the next set. All of these are so good. I think 6 and 7. 6 reads, this afternoon is just right for the picnic on that remote island, comma, but there are already almost too many people for this unquestionably small boat. 6, this afternoon is just right for the picnic on that remote island, comma, but there are already almost too many people for this unquestionably small boat. 7 says, and this one's funky. Sorry, I have to sneeze. I'm sorry, I lost my place. So 7 says, Al is also a member of the band, comma, all bands on board, trademark sign, comma, but neither he nor Tammany will say whose flute is missing from the music room. Thank you, Donna. It also occurs to me that I forgot to tell you that the band name, All Bands on Board, is italicized, just because it wasn't hard enough before. Lisa wants to know if she's the only one who keeps getting weird blips on her screen as she's reading and watching the lesson. I don't know. It could be me doing other things on my computer, just makes it upset. Oh, weird. Sorry. I think it gets upset when I open something, maybe. I really don't know. Nope, I don't know. Sorry. Janice says that she is done with 6 and 7, but can't remember if it's capitals indicator or grade 1 indicator first. It is grade 1 indicator first. The capital has to be the last thing that touches the letter. So anything else you're going to do that touches the letter or the contraction. So anything else you're going to do, like a grade 1 indicator or a type form indicator, comes first. Go ahead and plorp in the chat when you have finished your little transcriptions. See a bunch of done people. Couple done people. People are done. Then I should show you the things. All right, I have to stop my screen share so I can start my screen share. Here we go. 2 spaces at the top, a number sign, a 6, a period, a space, a capital sign. This is a 1456. Afternoon is AFN. Is, write the 2 letters. Just is a J word sign. Right, dot 5 R initial letter contraction. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the full cell, strong. The is 2, 3, 4, 6. Picnic, you spell it out, P-I-C-N-I-C. On, that is a T, alphabetic word sign. Remote, write the word out. Island, I-S-L, and sign, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And then the comma is a dot 2. But is an alphabetic word sign for B. There is T-H-E-R-E is dot 5, and then the, so 2, 3, 4, 6. R has an AR sign and an E, so A-R-E, so 3, 4, 5, E. Already, A-L-R. Almost, A-L-M. 2, T-O-O. Many, 4, 5, 6, M. People is just a P. 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This, 1, 4, 5, 6. Unquestionably, so it's UN and then a dot 5 Q for question, and then ably, A-B-L-Y. Small boat, period. Number 7. Al with a grade 1 indicator in front of it. So it goes 5, 6, then 6, then A, then L, is also AL. A member, M-E-M-B, and then an E-R sign, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Of is a 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. The 2, 3, 4, 6. Band has an and, so B and B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Comma is a dot 2. Now we have our italics passage indicator. So it's going to be a 4, 6, and then a 2, 3, 5, 6. Capital sign A-L-L, space, capital sign B and S, space, on, space, capital sign B-O-R, A-R, D, so B-O-R-D, B-O, and then the A-R sign is 3, 4, 5, D. We have reached the last symbol, which was italicized, so we must terminate our passage with a 4, 6, and then a 3. Then we can put our 4, 5, and the T for the trademark sign. Then we can put our comma. Holy nuts, that's a lot. But is just a B. Neither, N-E-I. He, word, nor, word. Tammany, T-A-M, and then many, so 4, 5, 6, M. You're allowed to do that. Will is just a W, say. And then whose is a 4, 5, W-H, so 1, 5, 6. Flute, you write the word. Is, you write the word. Missing has an ing at the end, M-I-S-S, and then 3, 4, 6. From is just an F. The, 2, 3, 4, 6. Music, write the word. Room, write the word, period. Any questions about any of this stuff? Is everyone fairly to relatively successful? Every time I read one of those things all the way out, like I need water. It hurts my throat.
The ending of the parentheses with the italicized and the comma, the order was confusing.
Gotcha. So the order was confusing. So the way it should have showed up on the screen would have been, it's in commas, and it's the words all bands on board italicized. Then the trademark sign is not italicized. And then there's a comma. So
Okay.
you have to do the passage terminator after the last symbol that was italics. So it goes B-O-A-R-D. Then we have the 4, 6, and the .3. That's the end of your italics. Then the trademark sign, we braille with the 4, 6, and a T. And then you get to put your comma because the comma comes after the trademark sign. Yeah, it's funky. It looks like garbage. Could I explain why to use the letter indicator for the name Al at the beginning of the sentence? If I hadn't put a letter indicator there, it would say AL, which is the short form of the word also. So if I don't put it there, it looks like also. So because we're in grade 2, we're in contracted Braille, I have to show you when I'm not using things like word signs or short forms. So if I don't want to be using a short form, I have to put a letter sign in front of it. So the name Al gets the letter sign because that stops us from reading it as also. Otherwise, I would say also is also. And it gets to be the special one because we are in the mode that allows things like word signs. It's either that or I would have to put a special symbol in front of every single word sign. Luckily, this is the way that they chose to do it, which like, it's confusing. It's weird. And it's weird to see it and be like, that's not letters. But that is the point of that thing. You guys did a very good job today. Thank you for letting me cram in so much Braille and so many dots. I'm going to try not to do that to you again. I'm looking forward to next time when we get to do chapter 9. You guys are 2/3 of the way through the book, and I'm super proud of you. You're 2/3 of the way through the book. We have 5 more of these little fun meetings together, I think. Is that right? I don't remember. But we have a couple more of these things together. I am going to throw the last 4 or 5 sentences up on the screen for those of you who like to do them. And if anyone has a question, I'll be here for a minute. Otherwise, I hope you have a really great rest of your week and welcome back. Happy 2020.
Hey, Shane, you talk about grade 1 and then you just mentioned a grade 2 also. How many grades does Braille go up to?
So grade 2 is not technically a word I'm supposed to have used. I apologize. It's a holdover from the old version of Braille. So grade 1 means uncontracted and grade 2 means contracted. If you learned eBay Braille, the old one, because we just changed to UEB 5 years ago. If you learned the old one, they actually do call it grade 2. We just call it contracted. But I learned the first way, so sometimes that slips out. There is such a thing as like a grade 1.5 that some people talk about, where it's like some contractions, but not all of them. It's not a very standardized thing. And there is also such a thing as a grade 3 that some people talk about, where it's like almost shorthand. It's way more of a shorthand, and it's a very personal sort of thing. There's not a standard for it, and there's no real reason to teach it. It's a thing that like, yeah, if you're taking dictation or whatever, people might use it in the same way that you might use a thing like a shorthand. So grades 1 and 2 are the thing. Grade 1 is uncontracted. Grade 2 means all the contractions. But that's what that is.
Okay.
Sorry, I used an old word.
That's okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.